Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Boomer Grounds podcast. Me and Howard have scared the ladies off again, as per usual. Actually, well, they're actually busy with real life. Obo has a concert to go to, and Miss Bauer just wants to flex on us all by going to the gym more. She has to keep the average of the group's, gym going up because the rest of us don't really go to the gym at all. So she maintains our group average of everyone
Yep.
going to the gym a few times a week. A lot of things to talk about this week.
Oh, so
Twitch
much.
makes some major announcements. Amouranth from JasonTheWeen stuff. But let's just get caught up with each other. What have you been up to, Howard? How has this week been for you?
Well, we got 18 inches of snow Sunday
Oh,
into Monday, so that was fun. For those of you who are not on metric, that's 45 centimeters of snow. That's a lot of snow in one shot. We're just finishing clearing that out. And we have another snow. We have another inch and a half coming tonight, and we have a possibility of another nor'easter next Tuesday. That they're saying could be upwards of another 18 to 20 inches of snow. So right now, snow is the word here in New England. Outside of that, gaming wise, I'm still pouring myself into Mugenics. It has been a ride, this stupid ass game. I love watching how complex it is. I have seen some really talented streamers want to throw things against the wall. It's not unusual to get reactions out of guys like Co-Carnage. It's unusual to get like genuine anger reactions out of guys like Co-Carnage because they've been doing it for so long, and he actually genuinely gets angry at the game, and it's amazing to watch. So yeah, between snow and cat science, that has been pretty much my week. How about you? What's been new with you?
well, it actually snowed here for like the first time in winter. I actually saw
Nice.
one small snowflake hit my windshield, and I was like, "It's snowing!" And then that was it. That was the
Yeah,
extent
some
of
of
our
mine.
snow. That's the extent of our snow so far this winter. Tessa's like, "Oh, it snowed for the second time." I'm like, "Supposedly it snowed overnight once." No, we didn't even can't even tell by the morning. But I went to
So,
play the Magic tournament on the weekend. It was
oh yeah.
yeah, it was. I mean, to say it was fun would be not very true because the games were not actually that fun. But
Okay.
it was good to reminisce and see a bunch of friends. Like it was very strange. Like it was like a senior event because everyone that I was playing in it was like 40 plus. It was like all the
Mhm.
old people that haven't played it and played forever, all coming out because it was like a limited event, which means you just get your six packs and you get you build your deck out of it.
Mhm.
So like all of us old people or old people that played a long time ago, we don't own cards or haven't been keeping up to date. So this is like the perfect format for us to come out. So there's like 180 people turn out for the event, which is actually quite small. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it was fun. I saw a lot of people I knew. I did poorly. The cards I opened had good high end cards, but like was lacking stuff in the middle. So good high end, good low end. I mean, a lot of low end and just missing stuff in the middle, and it happens. I didn't. All the games were pretty much out of my control, so like
Oh.
the games were just like, man, it's not like I could have played better a game or whatever. One of my friends lost in the finals, and since only the winner gets an invite to the limited world championships, he was a little sad that he lost in the finals. But
Oh.
it is what it is.
Sure.
But
Sure.
yeah, it was pretty good. It actually made me kind of want to play a little more Magic, although playing Magic is very expensive. They had an online qualifiers towards another online qualifier to the World Championship. This is a massive money grab. So essentially, what you'd have to do was you would do a draft, which is eight people sit around the table, they pick all the cards, right? You play best of one games. If you went 7-1, you would advance to the second draft. And then if you went 5-2 or 6-1, you get invite into the next qualifier, right? And if you went 5-2, you won $1,000 as well. If you went 6-2, 6-1, you win $2,000. But it was $25 a pop per
Per
entry
round.
per round. Yeah, and I went through don't tell my wife. I went through 12 rounds on Friday in a
Oh
span of five
shit.
5 hours.
Oh shit!
Okay,
I love
so
it.
uh, yeah, and like I didn't even get close to completing getting through the first round of the drafts. Like I was checking some streams of other old Magic friends that were like Hall of Fame level players, and they're like, "This is just stupid. This is such a massive money grab by Wizards. They should have changed because also it was best of one format, so the games were really fast. You don't get to like a lot of games. You just get like no decision making. You don't get to make adjustments to what your opponent has, and it was just like it was quite the hot mess. And I probably like the last four, I was just kind of on tilt and like, screw this, I gotta try to get my money back. But like, it was just, yeah. I mean, I was excited for it, and by the end, I'm just like, this is dumb. Like, I put a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of money into this game, and I was just like, there's like, wasn't worth the time or effort. But it made me want to play a bunch of competitive Magic, so that's always good.
That's good.
Uh,
That's good. Gets the fire lit. I like that.
yeah, I don't think there's another limited championship in locally, at least until I think like the summer. Yeah, but the event in Toronto, which was held a few weeks ago, sold out at 1,800 people, with four slots going out. The one here
That's
was
like
180 with two slots going out. That's 10 times the amount of people.
I was just gonna say that's 10. So four times the amount of slots,
No,
but
twice the amount of
10
slots.
times.
Twice the amount of slots. There's two
Oh, it's
slots
two
given out
slots.
here.
Okay, so two slots. So twice the amount of slots, but 10 times the
Yeah.
the odds there aren't great. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's because it being East Coast, it's a lot more drivable. Like if you anywhere from like the like the whole Eastern Seaboard is pretty drivable up to Toronto within like 6-8 hours or something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like Vancouver, there's no like the next drivable major city is like Seattle 3 hours away, Portland 6 hours away, and then Calgary, which is like 8 hours away.
Yeah, I mean,
Right, so
even
like
Toronto for me isn't that bad either.
it's probably like 8 hours, 10 hours, I would assume.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I'm looking
Yeah,
it up right now, but it can't be that bad.
right.
Well, that's good.
Right, so I think that's why it draws a lot more. Like the East Coast ones always draw way more than the West Coast ones because the East more is much denser population. Like all of Quebec is pretty easily drivable to Toronto stuff. So
Yeah, 8.5 hours from where I'm sitting right
yeah,
now. If I got my car, I could be in Toronto in
yeah,
8.5 hours.
yeah. So it's easy for people to be like, okay, we'll leave a little early Friday night, drive up, stay in a hotel, play the weekend, and drive back or whatever. Right here, it's
Absolutely.
like there's like only a couple of hubs that are within like 6-8 hours away, so it doesn't
Yeah, it
not
makes
going to
sense.
happen as much. But
Location is important.
yeah, so I mean, I think that happens for all the East Coast events in general. So let's talk news. Twitch
A lot of
made
it this week.
a lot of news this week. All right. Twitch made an announcement today about changes to bans with new ban suspensions.
Okay.
So there's like a new. Let me just double check this article before I say something.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now for the first time because this literally dropped a couple hours ago.
Breaking news. There's one. So now you can either be banned from streaming, which allows you to still chat in other channels and access your dashboard and stuff. You just can't actually stream. And then there's a chat suspension where you can't chat in other channels, but you can still stream and chat in your chat. And then
Okay.
and your channel will still be viewable, and people can still look at VODs and everything. So having had my account be banned before, essentially if you get banned, your account just like disappears. Like they try to go to your
Mm-hmm.
channel and say that the account's unavailable, um, and all that sort of stuff. So
There's
now
usually a
at
little
least,
Pac-Man ghost.
yeah, there's a little ghost. And then so now if you get banned, if you get one of the lesser bans, these two are considered less severe bans. You're still able to do stuff on the platform. Your channel will still appear there, and you'll still be able to be active on the site. And you won't just be like a ghost for like a week or however long your ban is. I think it's a good change. Like there being different levels of suspension
Mm-hmm.
is a good thing. But yeah, I mean, I think this now that I see this, like this should have been implemented years ago, honestly.
Yes.
The fact that it took like what, I don't know how long Twitch has been on, 10 plus years for them
Mm-hmm.
to come up with this idea of different levels of bans. Yeah, it seems a little long time coming. I assume no one really asked for it though. So
Yeah,
before.
I agree. I'm looking at the article now, and there's a quote in here that just absolutely jumps off the page at me, and where Twitch says the severity of a violation is based on the level of harm that we think a violation causes or could cause. We define harm as including actions that lead to physical, emotional, social, or financial damage to a community member or to Twitch. Yeah, severity matters, but part of the biggest problem is that when severe stuff happens, you give guys 48-hour bans.
Yeah.
Sexual assault, take 3 days off. Oh, you stole from Target? Take a day and a half. It's fine. So, yes, it's good that we're separating out minor offenses and saying, okay, so you screwed up in your chat. You violated a chat rule. So we're gonna limit your ability to stream for a couple of days, but you can still participate in chat. You can still go to other people's streams. That is a fantastic change, but it still doesn't address the biggest problem I have with Twitch discipline, which is it's not really based in any sort of reality. So so yes, I'll take this as progress, but I think Twitch still has a lot more to do on the disciplinary end. This is a great step, but it's just a step.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't address the major issues on the major suspensions, because that's what everyone's had problem with of recent. With like Nina Lin and Rakai and all those and clavicular and all that stuff that we talked about last week.
And we see it again and again and again. So we see it across different streamers. It's not like they just pick a favorite and like, oh, they're always nice to Nina. They're lenient to all of these big streamers. And then when you have repeat offenders, people who have done things multiple times, and you suspend them 6 different times for 2 days apiece, that the idea of punishment is future deterrence. It's not deterring anybody to lose 2 days of streaming time. They call that a weekend. these guys they take a weekend. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, talking about other things being banned on Twitch, a guy went viral, or a young gentleman went viral last week because he was all excited that he got 2 people to subscribe to his channels.
Oh, it was so cool to watch this.
He was all pumped and excited, and he was talking about how he could go and buy Jamaican beef patties. It went totally viral. Twitch was like excited about it. They gifted him 50 subs, and then 2 days later they banned him for being underage. He says he's gone on to say that he's over the age of 13 because he's a very young looking kid or gentleman.
I would have put him at 7 or 8 years old, honestly. Yeah. Looking and listening to him, this kid 8, 9 years old tops, and he's like, no, man, I'm 13.
Yeah. So he says he's over the age that's required, but he got banned by Twitch. They didn't say how long he's banned, but he's still currently banned. I remember seeing a tweet by him that he's currently streaming on YouTube.
Can we just tie that into the last one? You can shoplift at Target and get a 48-hour ban, but God help you if you're 13 and you look like you're 9. That's the limit. That's where Twitch is at. He's already served a longer ban than Nina did for shoplifting.
I think he probably needs to go through some sort of age verification, I would guess.
Yeah.
Once that gets settled, I assume he'll be unbanned. But yeah, I think this is ridiculous. Like, I understand. Okay, so I understand Twitch's perspective. They have the age limit probably because of liability. You have to be over the age of 13. If they suspect you're under the age, they have to ban you. You're going to be banned until you can prove otherwise.
Yep.
But, I mean, if the kid is actually 13, at least if you're going to do this, like, you should have done it, like, right away before gifting the guy a bunch of subs and then doing it afterward. It looks really bad on the platform to do such a thing.
It does. I mean, and it was, I came across this, and if you have not seen this kid, his screen name is CD2Neat. It's spelled CEED, the number 2 neat. Go on Reddit, go to the live stream fail. They've been posting about this kid for like the last 4 or 5 days, And the initial video where someone subscribes to his channel and the joy this kid gets, he's like, yo, this means I can go down to the store and get a couple Jamaica beef patties. I can't wait. And then he subscribes again. He goes, man, do you know how many Jamaica beef patties your subs are now? And within like 2 days, he had something like 400 subs,
yeah.
including. I mean, people on Reddit were doing the math, and like he's up to like over 900 beef patties. Like he can open his own store at this point. But it was this great story. Here's a guy who was just like joyful about streaming. He's playing Rocket League. He's just enjoying himself, and he gets his first couple subs, and he's blown away that someone would actually say, hey, your content is worth a couple of bucks. And it was so nice. And then I read, this is the funny part that our viewers don't know, but Terry already knows. I'm reading about this and I'm sharing it with the group. I'm like, this is wholesome streaming. This is why I love streaming. And then I read that Twitch gave him a 50 bomb. And I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. I'm so excited for this kid. And the next message is from Terry is he's been suspended. And I'm like, and I'm just like, what the hell? Why can't we have anything nice on Twitch? Why can't we have nice things? This kid is like the poster child for what people should be in streaming. He's joyous. He's loving it. He's not sitting there begging for subs or crying about monetization. He's excited because somebody gave him like $4 and now he can go to the corner store and get some beef patties, which he loves. And then Twitch has to go and stop it. I was just like, you've got to be freaking. And your point is right. It's not even that they suspended him for being underage. It's that they gave him 50 subs and then suspended him. So it's like, do your homework first. It's like you went into the liquor store and you bought a couple bottles of beer and this guy in the street said, hey man, can you spare one? And you went, sure, and handed him the bottle and then said, should I have checked his ID first? Is he 21? You can't put the genie back in the bottle. So you got to ask those things first. So Twitch looks really bad at this, in my opinion. And it was such a great story. I was so excited for it. I'm like, this is finally some positive things on Twitch. And then Twitch had to go and ruin it.
Yeah, I mean, the level of joy the kid got when he got those subs was unbelievable. This is like the poster child of what they should be advertising.
Yes.
And I wish they went through the ban or whatever discreetly. They were like, please send an age verification. We can't let you stream for a bit. You know, so he's not actually just like banned or something. Like, just ask them to like, please don't stream until we get this figured out or something.
Right.
Because that would have been like way better as opposed to like now everyone's in uproar because this kid, the viral moment just got ruined because this kid got banned.
Right? Twitch should be planning this kid to have a booth at TwitchCon where he gives away beef patties.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
This should be a thing. He should be an invited guest. You should walk into, and you and I have been to the opening ceremonies at TwitchCon. Everybody shows up for that first half hour. They crowd the theater. It's standing room only. Everybody wants to hear whatever, if there's going to be a big announcement or if there's any sort of celebrities are going to show up, anything like that usually happens at that opening ceremonies. They need that kid standing at the front door handing out beef patties as people enter TwitchCon. And instead they suspend him. Well done, Twitch. Well done.
Yeah. All right. Another famous suspended Twitch streamer, Amouranth, got into a heated debate with her husband on his Kick stream on the weekend. You just kind of see her kind of in the corner grabbing her laptop, screaming that her husband was trying to take the laptop. It seemed in my opinion, it seemed really overblown and kind of pseudo staged. But I mean, I could also see it being reality. Like, she generally looked quite scared.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was like overly exaggerated. It also seems really strange that he's streaming this when they're having this massive debate about it. Like, you would think if they're going to get into this massive argument about something like this, they wouldn't want to stream it. But I'm not them. You know, they know what sells their content and what
Mm-hmm.
gets them into the news cycle is like she looked terrified for one, but
Yeah.
it felt to me like it was overblown, like it was intentionally done to get more views and get her back relevant, back into the news, because any publicity is good publicity, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But supposedly she's also has filed abuse charges against her husband in the past. I don't know.
Yes.
You saw the videos too. Do you watch the extended version of the video?
No, I
There's two
watched.
videos.
I watched the one that was in the X listing that you sent
Yeah,
us. I watched that. That one. I'm assuming that was a short one because it was only like 3 minutes. I
yeah,
think.
yeah. There's one slightly farther down the comments which showed this was like 6.5 minutes or something of it.
So people know this. Most people know this about me in real life. I don't know how much our audience knows about this, but I've worked in HR and administration for almost 20 years now out of my 30 plus year career in human services. But I've worked with folks in my direct service days with mental health issues. And I can tell you this I looked at this and I was just like, this is toxic. The word is escaping me right now, and I'm babbling. Codependence. There it is. This is toxic codependence, and I agree. It was over the top. It was either it could have been over the top for a couple of reasons. It could have been for the clicks, which is I think completely possible and likely, as you pointed out. This is an opportunity to get. I have not heard her name in months, and all of a sudden now she's back on my timeline. But codependent people sometimes in arguments like these, they have to be the bigger victim no matter what the cost is. So they just keep trying to outdo each other. And it just gets to the point where you're just like, what the hell are you even arguing about anymore? This kind of thing. So it's scary to see. Whatever it is, they're clearly not good for each other. And just on that limited sample of knowing what she in past streams, she has talked about wanting to file for divorce. She has shared text messages. I remember that story from about a year ago. Text messages where he was psychologically abusive towards her and telling her she needed to stream and make money and all this fun stuff. How much of that is true or manufactured drama? Who knows? Because you bring up that valid point. But it is absolutely disturbing to see this video. Even if it's manufactured, you can't say it's worse than if it was realistic. But if these two got together and said, you know what, it's time for us to put out a video that's going to get some attention. Here's what we're going to do. This is not the way you do it. This is just disturbingly psychotic if that's the way they went. So, but yeah, it is not positive to see. And it worries me when stuff like that. I mean, it felt like he started streaming it because he felt like he needed backup. Like he was looking for like his audience to make it sound okay that he was like screaming at her and like that he had dumped her clothes all over the floor. But whatever it is, it's not okay. It's a bad situation.
Yeah. I mean, the reason you would do this to get clicks is because it is the easiest thing to go viral.
Yes.
Right. So like, even though it's not good for, for streaming or necessarily good for her brand or whatever, like these sort of things, because people love watching train wrecks, will immediately go viral. And you know what? All over our timelines immediately when it happens.
Right.
Right. So like, it's quite disgusting. If it's not true, it's quite disgusting. And if it is true, it seems really weird that someone that he would need to go to a stream to be able to like get validity or get evidence or whatever that he was being pseudo rational, even though I don't think he was really being rational from the video.
I don't think either were rational through the video at all. And it's difficult to hear some of the language they use with each other and some of the defenses they use against each other. It's just difficult to listen to. And again, I've worked with folks with mental health issues in the past, so I have seen some genuine breakdowns. I have seen people who have reacted irrationally in certain situations. But what that was in that video was way beyond what I've seen in most cases. And you're talking to a guy who's worked in a state building where literally I will see someone go running by my door and then I hear code blue, 4th floor, code blue. Okay, great. We got somebody who literally, this guy escaped from an inpatient unit, just ran by my office. That literally they had a locked ward in that building because there were folks who would have to be evaluated against their will if they had done something, criminally. And they would find ways to sneak through security. And I would just hear footsteps coming down the hall, and I'd look out the door and I'd see a blur go by, and then I'd hear the call, and I'd be like, "Oh, great, we got a runner." They had state police stationed in that building. So, while I don't know these guys, I do know the mental health field enough to know that what I saw was not good.
Yeah, Howard is secretly McManus at Oswald State Penitentiary, running Emerald City.
That I am not. I was just a lowly employment specialist at that point in my career. That was many years ago. But people say, and one of the people in the chat says it sounds terrifying. You become numb to it so quick. It becomes such every day because you're dealing with people who are in true crisis. That I had a dude. I'll tell this story really quick. I had a dude come into my office one time, and he clearly was not doing well. And he says to me, "I found my ideal job." And I said, "Okay, what do you want to do?" And he says, "I want you to help me get a job at Six Flags." And I said, "Okay, so first off, I'm pretty sure this guy is not allowed to be around children because of his criminal record. So that's warning flag number 1. Warning flag number 2 is the nearest Six Flag is an hour and a half drive away with good traffic, and this guy didn't have a car. So I asked him the question, how are you planning on getting to and from Six Flags? And he looked me dead in the eye and went, I can walk there. And I had to pull up a Google map and show him it would take him a day and a half to walk there, 2 days and a half to walk there. So we would literally in a week be able to work 1 day and spend 5 days walking back and forth before he was like, maybe this isn't a good idea. So I've seen some weird stuff, but I ain't seen nothing like that video.
I mean, maybe he's planning to set up a homeless encampment outside Six Flags and just live there for the 4 or 5 days that he's working in a row.
And I would ask them things like that. Do you know anybody who lives in that area? Is there a possibility? Would you like to look at housing in that area? And nope. I'm going to continue to live up here, but I can walk there. I was like, maybe we could see a train. He goes, no, I don't like trains. Okay, so I've seen some stuff, guys, but this was scary. This was scary.
All right, let's talk about something slightly more positive.
Yes, please.
JasonTheWeen just did a 7-day deserted island survival thing that raised $20,000 for a charity. He was on a deserted island essentially with minimal things, and he streamed the whole thing on Twitch, raising over $20,000, I believe it said, for a charity. He looked like he lost a lot of weight during the challenge. I mean, good that he's using his name to raise money towards charity. I don't necessarily know how healthy this was, but it's only 7 days. Assuming he has a team around him in case anything was to go poorly. He's quite the big name in the streaming world. He was nominated for Streamer of the Year. I mean, generally seems like very positive things came out of this. He said he got eaten up by the ants or something, though. There's a lot of red bumps all over it. But, I mean, definitely a good thing, to use your name to earn money towards charity and do something that was a little, out of the norm for Twitch in general.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, he had his safety net around him. It's not like he went full blown Tom Hanks and Castaway here. Yeah. He had his safety net. If he sat there and said, I have no safety net, and I'd be like, well, then how the hell are you streaming for 7 days with no chargers or anything? So he's got some sort of crew with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting to see it. And again, there's worse ways to use your popularity. I think it's great that he actually took that step and went and did that. So,
yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good thing for the streaming world. People doing things like this for positivity and getting money towards charity and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was definitely glad to see it.
Would you do it? Would you go on an island for 7 days for charity?
I mean, maybe, depending on the charity and depending how deserted the island was.
Really? No chance. No chance. Yeah. I'd be dead. I'd be dead. I wouldn't make it past day 4.
Do I have Wi-Fi reception? Can I just sit there on my phone playing Battlegrounds all day? I got
I'm not even.
I got to survive for my own food, but I still have my cell phone, a charger, and data. I'm good.
See, I'm fine. I'm the opposite. I am terrible with getting my own food, but I can live without the Wi-Fi. That's why I love cruising so much. That's why cruising is my preferred vacation, because you're surrounded by food and beverage, but there is no communication with the outside world. So I mean, well, you can get the Wi-Fi package, but it's very expensive on the boats. Fuck that. I want to disconnect. I don't want nobody to know where I am. I don't want nobody able to find me. I just want to be able to find the buffet. So you put me in that situation, it's going to be a bad scene, man. Day 4, I almost want to go get Christy in here. She wouldn't give me past day 3. I think she said I'd be dead by the end of day 3. So more power to him and you if you ever did that.
Okay, other news. Olympic gold medalist Alysa Liu, after winning the gold, was said that she wants to get a Fortnite skin made after her. Was talking about it on social media. I guess she's a big Fortnite lover, and she was asking Fortnite to collab and create a skin of hers. I know the Megan the Stallion earlier this month was complaining that was saying they're not gonna let Fortnite make a skin of her because they don't want people to shoot her. He doesn't want to see people shooting her.
Fair.
But
that's fair.
I mean, I thought this was really cute and interesting that that she would ask for a Fortnite skin. I mean, definitely probably a good thing for the brand, the Fortnite brand too, just to have someone so popular, you know, being asking to be a part of it.
You know, what I know about Olympic fame is that it's very fleeting outside of people who really follow your sport. So yes, strike while the iron's hot. Get this Fortnite thing done. Get your skin made and go enjoy it. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, another thing also coming out from the closing ceremonies, Olympic gold medalist Amber Glenn was shown busting open Magic the Gathering packs during the closing ceremony.
No
this
shit.
Also,
for her.
Yeah, this was also went viral. I forgot to include a link to it, but I just started thinking about it when we're talking. Yeah, so she was shown during the closing ceremonies about to walk down thing, and she was like opening up Magic packs, and it went pretty viral in the Magic community because good for the Magic brand and good for all geeks everywhere that Olympian just busting packs out in the middle of the Olympics.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I always love the Olympics. I'm sad that when they end, particularly the Winter Olympics, because in my younger days I used to curl. So yeah. I do like watching curling, and actually about 30-40 minutes from my house is NBC's broadcast center for the Olympics. So wherever it is in the world, all their off-camera people are stationed literally in Stamford, Connecticut, about 40 minutes from my house, which means like 20 or 30 curling celebrities descend on Stamford because they have like all these analysts that do off this air stuff, and they've got statisticians and stuff like that. So for that like 2-week period, the curling club that I used to play at becomes like a hot spot because it's the only one in the area. So all these guys, you would think when you're doing curling all day, all you want to do is go home and have a drink. No, they want to go watch more curling. It's bizarre. So a week and a half ago, they're sitting there having a junior tournament, and one of my buddies texts me and goes, John Schuster is here, and he won the Olympic gold medal in the last Olympics for curling with Team USA. He goes, John Schuster just walked through the door and asked if there was anything going on tonight. Olympic gold medalist just walks through the door. Hey, you guys busy tonight? What's going on? So, I kind of like that.
Yeah, so, there's definitely we're going on a curling tangent. There's definitely a bunch of controversy in the curling world last week about the Canadians double touching the stones, and then they essentially just got into a heated argument where the Canadian curler told, I can't remember what country it was, to go fuck off.
I think it was a Swedish team.
Yeah, the Swedish team to fuck off because they're complaining about them double touching, and then another country complained about Canada double touching. But so for those who don't know curling, is when you release the stone, you're not allowed. You're not supposed to touch the stone
any part
again.
of it again.
Yeah,
any part of it.
You're allowed to touch it again if you're behind the hog line. It's in the official rules. So
Yes.
there's a line where you have to release the stone by, and if you release the stone and you can touch it again before it crosses this line, this release line, and every infraction that supposedly the Canadians did was before the release line, right when the double touching occurred, and it's in the rules. So obviously Canada was not cheating because we're proud Canadian people. We don't cheat. But there was a big uproar about it. How we're savage Canadian cheaters because we like to touch things twice. It's not allowed. But yeah, there's
And
actually
and
like a heated debate about it.
and let me say, as someone who's actually played the game, and I don't know, Terry, if you've ever gone curling. I know if it's just something. No, okay.
No.
As someone who's actually played the game and played the game at the club level competitively, we did have 2 years where we traveled in the under 5 circuit. We were terrible, but we did. You don't want to touch the stone after you release it because it screws up the rotation of the stone. And the rotation of the stone is everything when it comes to curling. That if it rotates too quickly, it kills the direction of the stone. If it does not rotate quickly enough, it can kill the direction of the stone the other way. So when I saw the video and I saw him touch the back of the stone, I'm like, there is no universe in which you would do that intentionally because you're probably killing your curl. So, but the whole thing, like this, let me tell you something, having been in curling and a sport that is mostly self-policing and is considered, air quotes, a gentleman's sport, this, one curler telling another curler to shut up and to fuck off is probably the equivalent of a brawl in the NBA, a benches clearing brawl in the NBA. This is the worst. That's the worst argument I think we've ever seen in curling. So it's just funny to see that. And okay, whatever. I mean, and I have a lot of friends who play, and I have a lot of friends who are involved in. I have actually one person who is an Olympic level judge. I don't know if she did this particular Olympics or not, but my timeline on Facebook was flooded. Oh, the Canadians are cheating. Screw you. The Canadians aren't cheating. Oh, learn your rules. I'm like, oh my God, this is as much drama as curling has ever seen. So it's bizarre.
Yeah. I had a friend post about it on Facebook. He goes, this is like the most damaging thing Canadians have ever done in Olympic sport, just like as a joke. And I was like, oh yeah, no, there's this one time I didn't say you're welcome after I said thank you, and my whole country was in shambles.
But you know what? Honestly, that's the curling mentality. It is. There is one of the things that I love about it is considered a major faux pas if you don't stop and have a beer with the player you played against afterwards. Like, it is that friendly of a sport, even at the competitive level. It's shocking to see. This was just shocking level of curling beef. So it's bizarre. I've never seen anything like that ever before. So even at the Olympic level, it's just very, very strange.
Yeah, like of all the years I kind of enjoy watching curling, like sporadically, especially like the Olympics or like the Briar here.
The Briar, love it.
But I've never heard anything like controversial ever about curling. No. And then when this came up talking about Canadians cheating, I'm like, why would you want to do that? And I started reading up on the rules and seeing everyone posting about the rules, and going through the internet comments, which is usually not a good thing. But going to the internet comments, and they're like, "No, this is like perfectly within the rules. You're allowed to touch it as long as it's before the
hog line." Yep.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay.
And
so
and those
everyone's just full of crap.
and I think it was 2 Olympics back, maybe about 8 to 12 years back, there was a huge bit of controversy about people were releasing late, and they introduced technology that there's a pressure sensor in the handle now, so that if you hit the hog line and your hand is still on the stone, and like a buzzer goes off. So like there is technology to prevent this double clutching from happening. So it's out there. I can't believe that this is the content you came for, folks. You're here for curling talk. Here for curling talk. And just in case for anybody who sits there and goes, well, this isn't about streaming. I have streamed broadcast curling before. when I was a member at my curling club, they put in cameras and they were like, we need somebody to actually put this on YouTube. And I said, hand me a mic. And I did. I streamed like 3 seasons of curling for them. So,
I mean, technology is great. I heard also in Summer Olympics that like in like the track and field events, if you get off the blocks with under 1 second, it's actually considered a full start because
wow.
it's not humanly possible to react that quickly. So I saw people getting like disqualified having like a 0.99 second start, and they're like, it's 1/100th of a second, right? But yeah, I mean that stuff makes sense, but like technology is interesting because like that makes sense. Like you can't actually react to it that quickly, hearing the gun and then getting off to your start. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting seeing like technology, that part of technology. So we're talking about the weight and the handle of the stone.
And
All right,
that is about as much technology as goes into curling at the competitive level. The rest of it is all done by eyes and things like that, and a clock. And the clock is a brutal thing that people don't really understand about curling. 2 second thing is if you watch the Olympic curling, you saw there was like a little timer on the scoreboard behind them. If that clock hits 0, your team loses.
yeah,
You must complete your match before that clock expires, and it only runs when it's your turn to go. And I have seen matches where someone's got like 12 seconds left and they're just running and they're just grabbing the stone and chucking it because they need to save the last 6 seconds for like the very last stone. As long as that stone leaves your hand before that clock hits 0, you're in the game, but you could be up 10-0. If that clock hits 0, you lose.
yeah. It's like a chess clock. It's just like
Like a chess clock. Very much like a chess clock.
the best part about curling is when they do the measurements. I saw a lot of posts about that this Winter Olympics,
Oh,
and they
I
put the
love the
little
measuring device.
thing down in the middle, and they measure out the measure the distance to the closest stone. If it like the little banner moves up
The
a little, get
needle.
like yeah, it moves up a little.
Can I tell you how many drinks I have won and lost on curling measures? I've had matches where I've been standing there with a teammate and he'd be like, it's them. I'm like, fuck you. It's us. No, it's their stone. No, it's our stone. Bet you a beer. Done. And then the measure comes out the other way and I'm like, fuck you. Get out of here. Just cost me a goddamn beer.
Okay, let's get
Let's
back
move
on
on.
top.
Let's move on.
Back on topic, a little off the curling and Olympic tangent. Uh, Phil Spencer, the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, retired on Friday.
Yes.
25-year career at Xbox, creator of the Xbox Game Pass. Pretty big news. I mean, he's very long in the industry,
Mm-hmm.
being in charge of Microsoft Gaming. Uh, his retirement, end of his era, start of a new era. And we could talk about the start of the new era as well. But let's first talk about this. Any thoughts about Phil Spencer retirement?
Just a huge thank you. I mean,
Yeah,
the concept of the Game Pass, um, nobody has done it well other than Xbox.
yeah,
Even with, and you could argue that because it's gone up so much in price and all those things, but the concept that I could actually try games on a rotating basis and then decide whether or not I want to invest in them is just something that nobody has really done efficiently or well. So thank you, Phil. Go enjoy your retirement. Let's hope that they don't screw up the good things you've done there. So that's my take
yeah,
on it.
yeah. Game Pass was definitely very, I guess you could say, revolutionary because with the price of games going up, no one wants to spend like, especially um, Xbox games in general. They're talking
Yeah.
like 60, 70, $80 a game. Like the ability just to get like the Game Pass and like especially for games like you don't necessarily play for that long, you can just kind of play it out and then not have to purchase it, and you're just
Right.
paying like the monthly fee for Game Pass instead of actually have to like buy the game. You run your 20, 30 hours of it, or if you're me, you just leave it in the plastic, let's say in the corner for like 20 years. Or
Oh, Jesus. Did you really?
I had so many games I would buy like back when I was a console player. I had so many games I would buy, and then like 5 or 10 years later, I'd just be like, okay, I'm just going to bring them into GameStop, like fully sealed. And they're like, why are these games fully sealed? I'm like, yeah, I just bought it with it because they think I stole it, right? Because
Yeah.
the game is
Yeah.
still fully sealed. I'm just like, yeah, I bought it. I just sat there, and then afterwards, I just didn't play. But I mean, I did that a lot. So like having this is just so much easier
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so much better. Okay, well, his new replacement, Asha Sharma, the new CEO of Xbox, not a gamer, uh, and it made the internet angry. She used to
Okay.
be she used to be in charge of AI, I believe, for Microsoft. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong. But her gamer tag was only created like a month ago, and they're like, "How could a non-gamer, be in charge of Microsoft gaming? This is insane. She only created a gaming account a month ago. This is how the internet is. The internet does the internet things. They went on a detective
Mhm.
hunt, looking at all the stuff like, oh, she's not a gamer. She only has 29 accounts. Her gamer score is so low, you know. And there's like, how could this person possibly be in charge of Microsoft gaming and all that sort of stuff? Internet
So
being internet.
let me bring some information that maybe the internet and these people don't know is that Microsoft is a business, and so it's going to be run by business people. And if they were really worried about her having established gaming cred, they would have paid someone to play a shitload of games under her screen name and get that gaming score up. Or, I don't know, maybe if they knew somebody who controlled the actual published gaming score, like themselves, they would have gone in and coded a higher number. So the fact that, oh my God, she's got only a 10K gaming score, settle down, put down the Cheetos, everything's going to be okay. They don't care about this. Is that their goal was not to hire a gamer here. And if you don't like that, that's fine. You can argue that they should have hired a gamer, but I don't think if they really wanted to give her gamer cred, they would have manufactured it.
Yeah.
So settle down. This is clearly the direction they want to go in. This is their call. You can like it or not like it, but don't sit here and it's like you said, the internet gets in an uproar. There's nothing to be angry about here. This is a business person. Jack Welch is a legendary CEO of GE. Doesn't mean he knows how to build dishwashers. I mean, settle the F down, people. This is what businesses do. Shocking news. They put business people in charge of businesses.
Yeah, I think they're just worried that because she's not a gamer, she could undo all the stuff that Phil Spencer did in like the Game Pass and all this sort of stuff. But I'm sure that
She
she
could.
has very competent people working for her. Like when you're in charge, you're not hands on anything. You're just
Mm-hmm.
really directing the people that are specialized in their areas, that run their departments, and you let them do their thing. They come, they report to you, they tell you if things are going well, if things are
Mm-hmm.
going bad. You don't actually go like, oh, look, I'm going to go into Game Pass and take out these games because they're bad. You don't do that. You just have other people do that for you. People that specialize in those areas handle this shit because that's what their jobs are. You're just supposed to handle the people directly work on it, or handle the people that handle the people that handle the people, etc. There's probably many chains before you get to the actual person that does anything. But
Yeah.
like,
she sits in a boardroom and somebody else in business clothes comes in and says, we've seen a 10% increase in people playing rogue-like deck builders on Game Pass. And she goes, you know what? Maybe we should do more of those games then. If that's where the business is going, put more games. And he goes, I'm on it. She doesn't sit there and go, you know what? Let's make sure we put Slay the Spire 2 on the Game Pass specifically, or take it off. No, like you said, they look global. Global. What makes me money? So the reports she sees aren't going to be like this game is doing well or that game is doing well, unless it's like an extraordinary bump one way or the other. but they're going to show them trends, and she's going to maximize trends, which again plays into why you hire a business person to run a business.
Exactly. Like she probably doesn't even get into that much detail. Like they'd probably be like,
No,
the person is like, roguelike build deck builders are doing good. Let's add more. And she'd be like, seems like a good idea, and just check it off.
that's it.
She doesn't even probably offer the suggestion of we should add more. That's the person in charge's job.
Probably what happens. And again, having worked in administration, I've worked with CEOs. I know the bottom line. Somebody walks in and goes, we're adding 6 more JRPGs because last quarter we saw a 22% increase in profit when we did. Okay, keep doing what you're doing then. That's the kind of info they get.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. And usually the decision making comes to them when like things are going wrong. Oh, we've seen a 30% decrease in subscriptions last month. Okay, well, what changed? Let's ration out that. That's usually where CEOs decide to become hands-on. And even then, it's way up here level.
Yeah.
You know, so just settle down, everybody. She'll learn how to play Warcraft. It'll be fine.
I read that they might be adding Warcraft and a couple other games to the Xbox Game Pass as well.
They have been talking about adding World of Warcraft to the Game Pass since I was playing, and that was like, I've not been a consistent player in probably about 7 years. That's always been, and then when Microsoft bought Blizzard,
yeah,
and the talk shot through the roof that they were going to do this. When it first started coming up, when Warcraft stopped publicizing its subscription numbers, because there was a time where Blizzard was saying, here's how many subscriptions World of Warcraft has. And then they made the decision, we're going to stop publishing it. And they published it. They stopped doing it at a time where it was kind of slowly trickling down slowly. So the assumption was the numbers are so bad, they don't want people to know how bad World of Warcraft is doing. That was like 8 years ago. If it were really that bad, the game would not still be online in a subscription model now. But yeah, they talk all the time about it. When it happens, and I do believe it will happen someday, it'll be huge news. Yeah. But I it's one of those things where you've heard it so many times. Just let me know when it happens. I can't comment on it anymore because otherwise I'm commenting on it every 3 months, and it's just a waste of time.
Yeah, it just seems like that the Microsoft acquisition of Activision would probably make it more likely to happen like sooner rather than later.
Sooner, yeah, right. But this has been going on for years, so call me when it happens.
Yeah, that was all news to me because I saw that. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. They got added to the Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, this rumor's been going on for ages and ages. Even before the Microsoft acquisition, people were talking about this. So I think it's a good idea long term. But, I also think that the subscription model is the only reason that they keep putting out as many expansions. And they only put out an expansion like every 2 years at this point. But the reason they keep putting out more content is because they can justify it by keeping the expansion base, keeping the subscription base high and getting some people back in. There is a subscription bump every time they release a new expansion. So it works.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that there's going to be a big subscription bump when a new expansion comes out, just like whenever a new season starts for Hearthstone, I would assume.
Yep.
There's like a big bump. We haven't even talked about the Hearthstone patch.
Well, let's talk about that.
We could end on the Hearthstone patch. Hearthstone had a patch get released today. A lot of changes, quite a few changes for Battlegrounds. I did not actually pay any attention to any of the changes that got done in Standard.
Yeah, me neither.
A few interesting things they brought back. They brought back in the Moth came back. They took out a few minions. They took out Groundbreaker, which was pretty bad in general.
Groundbreaker is a game killer.
Yeah, and they took out Prehistoric Tinker and Cool Cabby. Those are the ones that buffed the rightmost minion in the shop, the Divine Shield and the Blood Gem one. A few minion updates, nothing too dramatic, I don't think. They made the volumizers give a little bit more stats. But I don't think anything else really dramatic got changed. Did I miss anything that got dramatically changed?
I think honestly the biggest thing that I saw, the two things that grabbed my attention was the volumizer change, because mechs have been unplayable since the Anomaly patch. They just they just take too long. They're too slow. So the volumizers, I think, hopefully helps that, buffing them a little bit helps that. the other big thing was bringing the Shimmer Moth back with the change.
Yeah,
Because the reason that Shimmer Moth was broken was because it was buffing beetles every time it gained stats or as it gained attack.
yeah.
Now it has to take damage, and that is still really good, but is much slower than it was before. So I love that change. You need something buffing beetles at tier 6. There's places you could do it along the way, but you really need that. I'm going to put this on the board, and if I use it properly, it will consistently buff my beetles. And this accomplishes that, and I like the change. I thought that was, I'm like, all right, this is a common sense change that people will be able to use, and it'll be good for the game. Beetles will get stronger and get back into the mix, but they also won't be like completely dominating and completely overrunning. I'll tell you what I didn't see. I didn't see anything to help pirates.
They
Pirates are
brought
still a
back
lost cause.
Thieving Rascal, which the one that started turn gain a gold repeat for every friendly golden minion. They brought back on that to tier 5, and they dropped the tier 6 pirate. Let me check what his name was. The Cannon Corsair to tier 5 again. They changed it to 1-1. They also
So
made the tier 6 pirate, the Shore Marauder, the Pirate Elemental that gives pirates and elementals an extra +1/+1. They changed it from 4/5 to 8/10, which is a pretty good change. Like, as a tier 6, it was a pretty crappy main because the base stats were bad and the
yeah,
ability was not that good. So now it's a little better stat wise, so that you can have it on your board early, and it gives you more time to get into more of the buffs.
did they increase the buff it does?
No, it's still 1-1.
See, I think that you need to increase that buff if you really want to. There's no good. Okay, and maybe I'm crazy in saying this, and Terry will tell me if I am, but I feel like pirates are just, they're insanely slow unless you hit like exactly, unless the economy buff leads to a shit ton of spells that buff. I feel like pirates are just too slow to be competitive in the current meta.
Yeah, they are. The problem was like you get to do like a million things, and you don't scale as much as things that just sit there and do nothing.
That's exactly it. You just put it way better than I could. That's exactly it.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love playing pirates because you get to do it, like, even though I boomer it and you get to do like a million things, and you're just like, yeah, I get to do a million things. It's so much fun. And you're like, oh, this guy literally just rolled his turn and just outscaled the crap out of me. I was like, oh, it's so sad. I was having so much fun, and then I die. I mean, that happened to me a
It's
bunch
just,
today.
oh
So I
yeah, it
was just like,
happens a lot. So, and I'm not a good APM player, but I do like the occasional pirate game. You know, I was my wife, as you know, plays, and she had a little bit of a win streak, and I was like, what are you playing? She goes, I'm forcing demons. And I'm like, you're forcing demons? Because she's never really been a big demon player. She's like, yeah, I am doing really well with demons. And I'm like, I think I actually have to start watching my wife play, because I've never been able to get demons to steamroll the way I see other people get them to steamroll. And all of a sudden, she's like won 4 of her last 5 games with demons. And I'm like, no, that's finally time for the master to become the student here. So
yeah, like I don't think the Shimmer Maw change is gonna be as effective as they think. Let me just double check the change before I really comment. Let me see if I can find the Shimmer Maw. Now is whenever it takes damage, yeah. Because
yeah.
a few of the things that are problematic with Shimmer Moth was that it would be really effective with demons, with the Lord of Ruins, and
Mm-hmm.
the Tunnel Blaster thing, and this it still gets the exact same result here from the buffing of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the tier, is it tier 3? The tier 3 2/4 beast that does gives your guys +2/+2 and then does 1 damage or whatever the thing
Mm-hmm.
is with
Yeah.
Rylak.
The dinosaur looking dude.
Yeah, I don't remember. It comes in, it does damage to your guys and gives them permanent stats or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy with Rylak was another way to scale it, and
Mm-hmm.
these are literally, they'll be exactly the same for scaling the Shimmer Moth. So it doesn't actually have much of an effective change for the main ways of it being gross.
Well, but now if you gain stats during the buy phase, it doesn't buff your beetles.
Yeah, but there
Wasn't it?
wasn't that many ways to gain. stats during
Well, just
live phase. It
spells
wasn't,
in
yeah,
general.
but it was mostly just during the in combat things. Was like,
Yeah,
I guess it. I guess no, that's the same too. I was gonna say, I was gonna say it's maybe because of the tier 6 beast guy whenever you play beast, but that's still going to have the exact same effect too. So I don't
there's
think there's gonna
that.
be much of a functional change because
There
this
was the
all those
Avenge
things were,
guy. There was the
yeah,
Avenge guy that would give 1/1, Avenge 1, give 1/1.
yeah,
That would buff it too. I mean, I feel like Goldrin going off would buff it.
yeah,
There was a couple of ways that you could buff in turn and give the Beatles permanent buffs. So I like the mechanic better because it's slightly slower, but doesn't get rid of it altogether.
yeah. I think there's just more things that buff it now, like the
Mm.
tier 3 8/8 guy that does 1 damage to all your minions will buff it. The
Mm-hmm.
tier 5 Death Rattle Reborn guy that does 1 damage to your guys, get 1 health buffs it. Like, I think there's just gonna be more things that buff it. I think it might be just as
Even worse.
problematic.
You think it might be
I
even
think it's
more
gonna be
broken
just
this
as.
way?
I don't think it's gonna be. I think it might be more broken, but it'll be equally as good. I don't think it's actually nerfed in any sort of significant way. Like, I'm trying to think.
Fair.
I'm trying to think of what ways that you could have buffed the attack previously that can't necessarily buff it now. Like, there's Goldrin, but Goldrin's removed, right? It's only the time warped one that's left.
Right.
And there's the bird buddy.
Bird
I can't
Buddy.
think of and just spells, but like using spells to buff it isn't very effective. Like, if you're just
Yeah.
like spending your whole turn buying spells to buff your Shimmermoth, it's like not a very good use of your
I
turn.
mean, Leapers, but that's time warp dependent too.
Yeah,
Most of it seems time warp dependent now that you bring it up. Yeah.
yeah. So like, there doesn't seem to be anything really different on how it gets buffed. So it seems like it's the same, except now it's 3/8 instead of 8/3, which means it's gonna survive longer in combat theoretically
Mhm.
to get more buffs. So it seems like it might be worse, is what I
What
would
about
guess.
what about Orca? Orca could have buffed it in the old form and doesn't anymore.
Yeah, Orca does. That's also in
What's
combat stuff. Like, in combat stuff, there's
Yeah.
still a ton.
Yeah.
There's not
Yes.
very many things, right? Like, it does not. It's not a massive functional change on
Okay.
how it gets buffed. I guess there's like the Naga stuff. Like, if you have to get a bunch of Naga spellcrafts that can buff it, but I don't think there's a lot of functional changes that actually make a difference.
I'm gonna have to try it. I am very curious. It does look like a good change to me, but I you can't argue with what you're saying either. So
Yeah,
I gotta see it in action.
yeah. I mean, the Skyblaze, maybe just buffs from Skyblazer and stuff might make it a little thing, but it doesn't seem that functional of a change.
All right,
Anyways,
we'll see how it goes.
enough about battlegrounds. Let's I guess we could call it a pod here.
We don't
Unless
have
anybody
any
else.
assholes today.
No assholes. I save
Okay.
assholes for the ones that really enjoy the assholes, which is Obo and I almost said Max, but Obo and Bowers.
Oh, Bowers said has some very strong opinions on some of those. It's very
Yeah.
it's very interesting to watch. So
Yeah.
I get that.
They are the asshole favorites. So we'll save assholes then, because I don't want to run out of gaming assholes, because there's definitely enough of us out in the world.
Hey,
It's going to take a long time to run out.
one more quick
Right.
thing. This week is Next Fest on Steam, where developers put out a lot of free to download demos. So if you're looking for something just to kill an hour or two, make sure you check out Next Fest. You might find something you want to place on your wish list. So, everybody take that opportunity and take advantage of Next Fest. I really enjoy just looking through it. I've got 2 downloaded already that I'll probably be trying in the next couple days. I'm still breeding cats, so I probably won't be streaming anything from Next Fest, but it's always cool to try out games for free. Kind of like Game Pass.
Speaking of wish list, do you hear about Windrose? It's just like a new game that came out, just blowing up.
I've heard of it. Who was playing it today? And I missed
Heretic
it.
was playing
Carnage.
Oh, okay.
Heretic was playing it. Carnage was playing it. Dan's Gaming was playing it. I think on Monday. I have not seen thing one about it other than the name. Oh, you know who else was playing it? Was Thorlar. Thorlar was playing it too. What is this game? What do you know about it?
I It's supposedly some pirate survival game. It's already hit like 1 million on the wish list. Supposedly some indie game that, well, indie. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
actually an indie game, but
Yeah.
it's supposedly just blowing up. I saw Heretic was playing it today. I did not hear anything about it, and I just saw all of a sudden. I mean, the graphics look really nice from what I've seen.
All right, I'm looking at it right now. Embark on a PvE survival adventure in the age of piracy. Fight on land and sea, solo or with friends. Build, craft, and explore vast open world filled with dark secrets. Explore vast open world. You forgot an article in there. Master Souls-like combat and take on challenging bosses. Command your ship and plunder unspoken treasures. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll wait. Listen, and it's part of Next Fest. There's a demo. It's not released yet, so we're seeing people play as the demo. I'll give it a try.
Yeah, I just saw it, and since you're talking about Next Fest and new games and stuff, I saw that it was blowing up. Never heard of it. Well, it takes 30 gigs of storage. Well, I don't. You
Is
need
it
a
really
huh? So
30 gigs?
It says it needs a GTX 1080 Ti. I don't know if your graphics card will cut it, Howard.
What is it? What is it?
1080 Ti.
I think I have a 1060.
You can't even play the demo. No, Howard.
It's downloading right now. It's gonna make my computer cry. All right, you know what? I will save this for when I stream later this week, so we can watch the rage when I can't launch it.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, thank you everyone for watching the Boomer Grounds pod. Please like and subscribe and do all the things. We want to try to get up to 3-digit subscribers at some point. We're at like 25.
And thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate everyone that does. Leave a comment, tell us, how old we are and how we look like, old female lesbians and stuff, and all the good things that we usually hear. And we shall see you all next week. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Bye.